So right here it says Mandy details alleged abuse in secret marriage to Markangel. I watched the video on I'll be playing the video for you. I watched the video where Markangel said that nobody knew he was ever married. He got married in secret, got divorced in secret, and so it is saying that ex-wife of skitmaker Markangel alleges that he pressured her into a threesome with a stranger on their wedding night, but he shamed her post-birth. Despite procedures, left at 4 a.m. to help an ex, faked a deadly disease, and was intimate nearby while denying it. And then the couple dated years before a private wedding confirmed by Mark in 2023, divorced quietly after their daughter's birth, and now share the child. Reactions mix heartbreak for our ordeal, with skepticism over her staying and the video's dramatic style as Mark has stayed silent. And so right here is the video, and let me play it and hear exactly what it is she has to say, because I honestly haven't played the video enough to see or to hear what it is she said. Before I play this video, you see right here it says Markangel's wife's story on TikTok is very touching. She doesn't deserve to be treated like that, to be honest. He should do better. I want people to realize that there are two sides to every story, and you can't just hear one side of the story and eventually just pick it up and start saying bullshit. So let me hear a side of the story, and then we hope that Markangel comes out to also give his own side of the story. Because, for example, like the Emeka Ike situation, yes, we know about it. The wife came out, went on with Chude on YouTube, said a whole lot of things about Emeka Ike, but eventually it is surfacing that Emeka Ike was a very good father, did a whole lot of things. In fact, when you go to Instagram, you would see that Emeka Ike was a very good father. Looking at the recent issue with Jaroma and so that involved Jaroma and his son, where he kind of cut ties with his son publicly and revoked. I'll check out that story and talk about it. Right here is a comedian Markangel's ex, his wife Mandy, opening up about the pain that she went through while they were together, something that Markangel himself has also talked about.
Put a finger down if your man talked you into having a threesome with a total stranger on your wedding night and asked you to tell the girl that you guys are just friends, so she's not uncomfortable. Put a finger down if your man pulled out while you guys were being intimate and told you he was not feeling your body. Since you gave birth, your body has been different and it's no longer attracted to you. So you went as far as going on in life to fix what he was not comfortable with at the time. Put a finger down if your man constantly body shamed you. Oh yeah, stretch marks, yeah. Put a finger down if your man tells his friends that you're a bad cook, and when they end up visiting, it's a different story. Put a finger down if your man invited a friend over and he said they are just friends and they ended up in the room opposite the matrimonial room and you were hearing them mourn, and he comes out sweaty and he tells you now that they were just talking. I didn't know we can start talking. What language is that? Put a finger down if your man went to pick up his ex around 4 a.m. because the boyfriend was beating up his ex and he went to save her. Superman. Put a finger down if put a finger down if your man told you he has an eternal disease, a big deadly disease, and he has a few years to live, but he's not dead, he's still alive till now.
Alright, right there is a statement right here alleging some of the things I read up here. And for me, I'm just saying, at least it didn't hit you and you guys separated in peace. Of course, some of those things may have really angered you, which I call some of the pitfalls of monogamy, because eventually you are stuck to one person, and then whether the person actually is pleasing to your sight or not, you still have to be stuck to that person. She talked about being humiliated post-birth, and of course we understand the changes that happen to women after childbearing, and a lot of men do not get to be comfortable with it, but they still get stuck with it. And then we have issues of where men want other women, but then because they're hypocritical in a monogamous, hypocritical society, they tend to find different ways to do it, coercing their lovers or convincing them to threesomes, or maybe doing it behind their backs, and then they eventually find out. These are usual things that happen. My question is that it's been a while, and I love the fact that when Mike Angel came, he didn't really say anything on her side. He just said they got married secretly, divorced secretly, and he let it slide there. So why is she coming out now to talk about it? And eventually coming out to talk about it, exactly what is it for? When you come down to tell us that, fine, you forced into threesome, you say threesome, right? Could have easily just said you're not interested, but you eventually indulged in it. Now, indulging in it now, you come out to tell us that, put your finger down if your husband convinced you to have a threesome. It's something you could have simply just said no to, and then perhaps even divorced if you wanted to, even though these things sound as though they are not easy to do. But my point is that in all of these things, you were not forced in any situation. If there was a forced situation here, of course I'll be saying fine, I want to listen to my angel side of the story and say fine, this is not right in any way, forcing a woman to do this in any regard, right? As that is an indication of violence in any way. But these are things where, of course, it says right here that he body shamed her. Fine, it's not fine, of course, to body shame anybody, as this one is eventually a result of even childbirth, carrying a child for you. But then he did it eventually. I think that divorce just solves this problem, and eventually they did divorce. So they getting divorced just solved the whole problem quietly, and for me, I kind of feel like that settles it. So coming out now to talk about this whole thing, none of these accusations right here can attract arrest for any reason, and I kind of think that he's taking care of the child even though they are not together. Mike Angel said something in one of his interviews that if he had a daughter, he cannot allow his daughter to marry a man like him or something like that, because he has a lot of women in his life and he loves a lot of women. However, I blame him for going into something monogamous, understanding his polygynous side. So that is where I've always talked about. Listening to most of my old videos, I've always condemned our new age modern men for being hypocritically monogamous, even when they know that they are not inherently monogamous. Like I always say, not just men, I say even women themselves are not monogamous. We as humans are non-monogamous. Just like Sean Kuti said in one of the podcasts, I'll look for the video and play. And so he ventured into a monogamous situation as a polygynous man, and then here he is, I know, contradicting the stance he took, like on marriage vows and all of that. So, but for me on the female side, why I'm talking about this like this is because I really hate the fact that when situations happen, women like to project themselves as the victims, you know. On the body shaming part, is understandable. Yes, she could project herself as the victim, or I'll say that she was the victim in that situation. But like I said, like divorce is an option. And then on the aspect of the threesome, uncomfortable with it, do not want it, of course, divorce is an option. And I don't know, you know, I think the statement that red pillars always make, that women actually know that their men are like this before they eventually get married, but because of money, and like they say, especially Nigerian women, because of money, not love, they eventually go ahead to get married to these people, and then they face a whole lot of ordeal silently while in this marriage. Some even do not end up coming out because I mean the money is better. Like they say, it's better to cry in a Lamborghini. And so I'm saying that these things are obvious signs that you can tell that Mike Angel have been exhibiting prior to the marriage. I'm not excusing him, I'm just saying putting yourself as the victim doesn't make any sense to me. Eventually, you know this man. I mean, before a woman decides to go ahead and get married to somebody, she knows, she has at least, there is an indication that, yeah, I have an idea of who this particular person really is. So to come around now and make us feel as though maybe you were actually the victimized individual in this situation, it doesn't really add up to me at all. So I'm just saying eventually this has happened. He said right here, Dr. Farouk is saying that so Mike Angel allegedly did this to his ex. This is someone who stayed with him when he was broke and had nothing. This is another stupid statement that makes sense. Someone stayed with you when you were broke and had nothing. So what about the person eventually? Was she rich? I don't know. Just because someone stayed with you when they were broke and when you had nothing does not automatically qualify them to be anything in your life. It's just something I want people to always understand, because we've had women of which men are sponsored to schools, taking care of them, and then at the end of the day, the women graduate and say, I didn't really send you to take me to school. Yes, I went to school and I found the love of my life. Who do we blame? The men for being stupid enough to take care of somebody with the expectation that they get married to them. So if she stayed with him when he was broke and had nothing, that's understandable. Fine, that's good, whatever, but it still doesn't, you know, like it doesn't compel him to actually get married to her or stick with her, all of that. Yes, he did body shame her, understandable, and she did divorce. Of course, I am sure that these things were what led to the divorce, which is very much understandable, and that's very cool. When you're not okay with your partner's behavior, you just simply divorce them. And so now what? Coming out to tell us now, what do we do? What exactly do we do? Look at Mark Angel as a bad guy. This will only last for a day or two and then it's off. I just wish that you could just shut the fuck up since you've already divorced, which is the best thing to do, and then we just let us breathe. It's not necessarily information, as the information is not going to do anything in any way at all. These are the kind of things I look on and just like, so now what? What should we do? What should he do exactly? He didn't hit you, nothing, no domestic violence. Just probably the whole man who is just always honey, wanting to sleep with a whole lot of women, and eventually having vowed monogamously to you on the altar, and then cannot keep up to it because eventually it is very evident that he couldn't and he can't, because till date, of course, he still be womanizing, as he has alleged that he loves women and has girlfriend 1, girlfriend 2, girlfriend 3, girlfriend 4, girlfriend 5, and so he has already said the fact. So he knows this about himself, even though he was funny enough to go ahead to indulge in a monogamous institution or a monogamous marriage. I just think that some things are not necessary, and I'm wondering exactly. So I like this statement from here. He say, why didn't she decline it? Emotional manipulation. Right here he says, I don't give a fuck. An adult who chose to stay when she can actually leave is not a victim. By the way, why do women hate other women this much? Your man saved the woman from another man beating her up. Isn't that a hero shit? For me, I just feel like you stayed. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't hit her, which I think domestic violence is the thing, right? For us, if domestic violence is there, that's a no. But he didn't hit her. You know, she chose to stay. So now why is she coming out to? She's trying to just make him look bad in our eyes. This is nonsense, honestly. No sympathy from me at all in any regard. I think that we're in 2025, 2026 now, and you can simply object and say no, you're not interested in this, and then you just move on. And I think it's something that women need to learn right now, and I think that women even know it. Perhaps she stayed because of the money or whatever reason, and maybe money was not theirs at that period in time for whatever reason it was. But I think for a man having more women coming around and sleep with him, I think the money was there at that period in time. And so she stuck with him right there because of the money and probably the love, if it was there in any way, because I don't even believe that love shit. And so now she's coming around to tell us what? I'm tired, man.